Imagine breaking your arm. Now imagine someone looking you in the eyes and saying, I don't want you anymore. One leaves a cast, the other leaves nothing you can see. Yet your brain can react to both in surprisingly similar ways. That's strange, because one injury damages your body, the other is only words. No blood, no broken bones, no bruises. So why can rejection hurt so much that your chest aches, your stomach tightens, and sleep becomes almost impossible? Why can being ignored, left out, or abandoned feel almost as painful as a physical injury? It sounds impossible, but modern brain scans revealed something that shocked scientists. The answer isn't hidden in modern relationships, or social media, or high school classrooms. It begins beside a campfire more than 100,000 years ago, when being rejected wasn't just emotionally painful, it could mean dying alone. 100,000 years ago. There were no cities, no hospitals, no supermarkets, no police, no emergency numbers, only people, and a world that wanted to kill them. Imagine opening your eyes at sunrise. The fire is still warm. Around it are the people who have kept you alive since childhood. They know where the clean water is, which plants will poison you, where the animals migrate, when a storm is coming. Together, they are your greatest survival tool. Then, one day, something changes. Maybe you broke an important rule. Maybe an argument went too far. Or maybe they simply decide you don't belong anymore. You watch them walk away. The fire becomes smaller, smaller. Then it disappears beyond the trees. For the first time in your life, you're completely alone. Night falls. Every sound suddenly matters. A branch snaps. Something moves through the grass. A distant growl echoes across the darkness. You don't know what's watching you, but you know one thing. No one is watching with you. Today, rejection might mean an awkward conversation, a breakup, or an unanswered message. Back then, rejection could mean starving, freezing, being attacked while you slept, dying alone. Humans survived because they belonged to each other. A tribe wasn't just companionship. It was food, protection, knowledge, a future. Losing your place in the group didn't just threaten your happiness, it threatened your life. And if belonging kept our ancestors alive, evolution needed a way to make rejection impossible to ignore. So it built something extraordinary. It made social pain feel a lot like physical pain. And that ancient survival system is still running inside your brain today. Your ancestors never saw the inside of a brain. They didn't know what neurons were. They had never heard the word psychology. They didn't need to. Evolution wasn't looking for understanding. It was looking for survival. Imagine two prehistoric children. One is left behind when the tribe moves. He shrugs. He keeps walking in the opposite direction. The other feels a sudden stab of panic. He cries out. He runs. He catches up with his family before night falls. Which child is more likely to grow up, have children, and pass on their genes? Over thousands of generations, nature quietly answered that question. Minds that treated rejection as a serious warning survived more often than minds that ignored it. Little by little, generation after generation, the human brain became wired to care deeply about belonging. Then, thousands of years later, scientists asked a surprising question. What actually happens inside the brain when someone is rejected? To find out, volunteers entered brain scanners. Some played a simple online ball tossing game. At first, everyone included them. Then, without warning, the other players stopped throwing them the ball. They were excluded. The game lasted only minutes. But, inside the scanner, something remarkable happened. Brain regions involved in processing the distress associated with physical pain became active during social rejection. Scientists weren't saying that a broken heart is identical to a broken bone. They were discovering something even more fascinating. Your brain responds to rejection as a problem important enough to demand your attention. That's why rejection doesn't simply feel disappointing. It can feel overwhelming. Your chest feels heavy. Your stomach tightens. Sleep becomes difficult. You replay conversations again and again, not because you're weak, but because your brain is doing exactly what millions of years of evolution shaped it to do. Physical pain tells you, protect your body, Social pain tells you protect your relationships. Different messages, the same goal survival. The world has changed. Cities replaced forests, smartphones replaced campfires, but the brain inside your skull is still running software written long before civilization ever existed. Your brain has one strange problem. It was built for a world that disappeared thousands of years ago. For most of human history, you knew almost everyone you would ever meet. Your world wasn't made up of millions of strangers. It was a small tribe. Every friendship mattered. Every argument mattered. Every betrayal mattered. Losing the trust of your group wasn't just embarrassing, it could change the rest of your life. Then, almost overnight in evolutionary terms, the world changed. Today, you can be rejected by someone you've never met, ignored by thousands of strangers online, turned down by a company you've never visited, or stare at your phone, waiting for three little dots that never appear. To your conscious mind, it's only a text message. To the ancient parts of your brain, it can feel like something much bigger. A warning, a threat, a question. Am I being left behind? That's why small moments can stay with you for days. A friend suddenly becomes distant. An invitation never comes. A message is left unanswered. Your idea is ignored in a meeting. Everyone else seems to belong, except you. On the surface, these moments seem ordinary, but deep inside your brain, an ancient survival system quietly asks the same question it asked around campfires over 100,000 years ago. Am I still part of the group? Most of the time, the answer is yes. Friendships recover. Relationships grow stronger. New people enter your life. The pain fades, but the alarm exists for a reason. It reminds us that human beings were never meant to survive completely alone. Of course, not every feeling of rejection reflects reality. Sometimes people are simply busy. Sometimes a delayed reply means nothing at all. Sometimes one closed door is only making room for another to open. Your brain's alarm system is incredibly powerful, but like every alarm, it can sometimes sound when there is no real danger. Understanding that doesn't make rejection painless, but it changes something important. You stop asking, "What's wrong with me?" And you begin asking, what is my ancient brain trying to protect? Sometimes understanding the pain is the first step toward healing.